So let me start by saying this is one of those games that I just kind of closed my eyes and randomly picked. Okay, so I didn't actually close my eyes, but it was still random. And why does it seem like all the random games I choose suck? Before I really start on any specifics, let me reenact my first few minutes of playing this game. 4 different languages. Interesting. Oh god, what the hell's with this frickin' soundtrack? Okay, so it's a point and click game. Can you move any faster? Okay. Wait, that's supposed to be a door? Looks like it's a lack of door. Guess I have to use it. Missile targeting device. That sounds like fun. He's calling him ridiculous. That's awesome. Yeah. Teleport machine. I picked up that key. Just have to use it. Oh, so I can't. That makes no sense. Oh, so it's a platformer game. How do I attack? Maybe do I gotta jump on him? Okay, apparently I don't jump on people. Does it really have to stick me back to the first? Oh, this is gonna be a bad game. What the fuck? Is there no way to kill these guys? What? What the fuck? There's gotta be a way to kill these things. Do I have to wait? At the camp. What the? What the hell are those things anyway? Do I just... Oh my... What the hell? I can't even get past the first fucking enemy. Game over my ass. So, yeah, that was my first attempt at playing this game. And this wasn't an exaggeration either. I sincerely felt that way while playing it. To give this game credit, it was pretty interesting to see a developer try and merge 2 genres. You have the point-and-click interface, and also the platformer stages in between. The problem is that, although the point-and-click sections are substantially solid, it's the platforming parts where the game falls flat on its face. The reason for this? The controls are just pure shit. As I said, the point-and-click segments work great. You move the arrow with the directional pad, and A selects things. By pressing B, you'll cycle through the 5 available commands. The inventory can be a pain to navigate, since you only have 3 items shown at one time. However, by clicking the arrows, you can scroll through what you have, so it's not too bad. Again, in a nutshell, this half of the game is perfectly playable. But let's move on to the bread and butter of the game, shall we? It's the platforming parts. Basically, these segments are placed in between each adventure area. So, if you want to go from City A to City B, you need to successfully complete the platforming section. However, if you complete it, you won't have to redo it if you need to backtrack, which you will. So basically, you only need to finish each stage once. Now, I can get by not being able to kill your enemies. It's a slight annoyance, sure, but it's something that's easily worked around. What I can't get by is the horrible control system. The directions obviously control which direction Linus moves in, and A jumps. That's it. That's all you got. You can press start to pause the game, but B is not used at all. Okay, fine. But worse, if you hold A, Linus just keeps jumping as soon as he hits the ground. This normally wouldn't be a problem, but when you have to hop on certain ledges that are just barely clearing Linus' maximum jump height, if you don't let go of A, he'll just jump directly off of it into one of the multiple pitfalls scattered around the stage. In fact, the jumping is what causes all my frustrations with this game. Linus can't change direction after he jumps, so if you didn't judge the length or height enough, you're screwed, because you can't undo your jump. Worse, if you die, you end up back at the last point-and-click area you visited. There's no checkpoints during any of the platforming sections, which really sucks if you're at the last part of the stage and manage to screw up. There's also no continues, so if you get far but you don't find a password, and then lose all your lives, you're going back to the beginning. Oh, don't worry, it gets even better. Once you get near the dark town that I don't remember nor care about what the name was, you enter a forest. It wouldn't be so bad, but the fucking game makes it pitch fucking black. You can't see where you're jumping other than an occasional flash of light. This little piece of shit game is hard enough to even make these jumps, so why the fuck would you make it harder? Worse, there's at least 2 of these sections. What's the point of them? The game's already hard enough to navigate, so why in the hell does it need to be more frustrating? So what's the best way of clearing each stage? Taking your sweet ass time, that's how. But this makes it boring as hell. You walk up to an edge of the platform, you back up a bit, you get a running start, jump, hit the ground, hopefully, and immediately pull yourself to a stop. And then you just repeat this multiple times. You have to practically judge every damn platform and cliff edge just to make sure there's no enemy or that you can properly make the leap. And sometimes, you just need to make a leap of faith because you may not be sure if you can effectively make that damn jump. And even better, occasionally you'll find platforms that just need to be higher than Linus's jump height. Well, guess what? You can still make them! As long as you touch the platform's edge, it seems that Linus has the ability to clamber up to make it safely. So, why not eliminate that and just allow him to jump higher or lower the platforms? Let's move backwards a bit. In fact, let's go back to the opening credits screens. First off, the Codemasters logo. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant? Absolutely shit! Let's move on a bit and go to the title screen. The music... There's no words for how bad this shit is. It's like nails on a chalkboard. No, it's worse than nails on a chalkboard. And then you get a picture of Linus standing on top of the world. What the fuck is with his getup? Is he wearing spandex all over his body? Why have a cape? He's no freaking superhero. And what's with that hair? Or at least I think that's his hair. Why is he holding a picture of the world? Okay, well, let me explain the basics of this story. Linus was flying around the galaxy and found out about Earth, but no one on his home planet believes him. So the point of the game is for him to get evidence that Earth exists. You know, this could have been much better if the game had completely eliminated all the platforming parts and just kept with the adventure-style gameplay. But of course not. The music doesn't really get any better during the gameplay either. The opening scenes aren't too bad, but once again, when you get to the platforming segments, it just gets awful. Most of it is just a few second piece that loops continuously. Also, there's no real sound effects. The only thing that you really hear is when you pick up candy and when you die. That's it. The graphics take a huge hit too. Again, in towns, they're not amazing, but they do a decent job. Linus looks a bit odd, sure, and even an NPC gives him hell for looking like an oddball. Once you get to the jumping areas, they're normally a bit bland, and for a game released in 1992, this is completely unacceptable. The forest level doesn't look half bad, but the enemies are just odd, but lack real detail to them. Also, just because you can enter towns in the game, there's a severe lack of available things to do in them. They only really exist to pick up more items, and from what I've played of the game, you don't really interact with too many people, which is pretty strange for an adventure-style game. Now, I mentioned continues and the lack thereof, so let me explain the life system. It's your basic one hit and you die mechanic, and you start with 3 lives. Again, if you lose all of your lives, you start over. If you manage to collect 10 pieces of candy, which are scattered in the often hard to reach spots in the run and jump areas, you get an extra life. But the biggest thing is that there's a password system. But I'd consider this to be incredibly flawed because although I completed probably close to 10 stages or so, I had yet to find a password. From what I've read online, there's blocks that have a P on them that look like the teleporter keys. But I haven't seen a single one. So what's the point in having a password system if the passwords are nowhere to be found? After I went through the playthrough where I finally got past those fucking dark levels, I died soon after, and I finally just gave up. No password at all, and I lost all enthusiasm to keep playing this mound of shit. Before I close this review, let me show one little thing here. The game had potential, and how do I know this? There's a Genesis port named Cosmic Spacehead. It's the same thing, but with drastically updated visuals and music. And even better, the controls were overhauled. The best thing about this? You can move while jumping! How hard was this to include in the NES version if they have it in the Genesis game? Did enough people bitch in between 1992 and 1993? I don't understand why there's a circular border around the outside of the screen though. Linus also looks a little bit more cartoonish, but with the visual upgrade he looks fine. Oh, And guess what? There's a password right in the first area I found. Where the fuck was this in the NES game? Sadly, Line of Space had some huge potential, with it being a culmination of two genres, but Codemaster just fucked it up badly. The game includes hands down one of the worst control systems I've ever seen. It's really a shame too, because if done right, I probably would have enjoyed it. But alas, it's shit, and there's no denying that. They're just lucky the point-and-click part saved the score for this game a bit, but when you get down to it, it's still a giant mound of stinking feces. My score? 3 out of 10. Again, it would have been lower if it weren't for those adventure parts. Anyway, this is Reaper. Happy fragging.